Hello and welcome to the Quarantine Catalogue with the Angry Microwave. I'm Brad and with me, as always, is Callum. Callum, I hope you're well. I have one question for you. What is a Quarantine Catalogue? What are we doing here?
So Quarantine Catalogue is our new show where we're in a different bunker each week from a different famous film. Let us know if you know what film this is. It's a very good film.
Spoiler alert, it's a great film.
And we're going to spin a wheel on a random streaming service and it's going to give us a film. And 24 hours later, we're going to come back and discuss that film. So it can be literally any film. The only rule that we really have is if we've seen it in the past 5 years, we're going to spin it again to make it interesting.
Preferably these would be great films that we haven't seen before, but as it's a randomizer, they could be bad films we haven't seen before or films that we didn't even know existed. So what streaming service are we doing this week? We're doing Disney Plus.
So we're going to Disney Plus, which launched a few weeks ago in the UK. So should we go and spin the giant wheel?
Okay, so what do we have here? We have any genres, we have movies, any IMDb score, that could be risky, and any tomato score. Okay, right, any Rotten Tomato score.
You ready?
Yeah, okay, I'm hoping for a Walt Disney classic.
3, 2, 1. Oh, here we go.
What is this? The Cheetah Girls 2, When in Spain, 2006. Oh, okay, this feels like proper Disney.
Oh, and it's the second one. We haven't even seen the first one.
Which probably... Okay.
How is it an hour 36?
Well, because it's a masterpiece, obviously. Okay, so we had... You know what? I've already forgotten the name of the film. What's it called?
Girls 2, When in Spain.
The girls team up and go to Spain to... What girls, first of all? To compete...
Cheetah Girls?
In the New Voices of Music Festival. But jealousy and ego threaten to come between them and their dreams. Ooh. So was this... in the era of High School Musical, when, like, teen musicals were quite massive?
What year did High School Musical come out? 2006, so it came out around the same time.
This game, this game's a bit like Russian roulette, and we've lost with the first round. Okay, so in 24 hours, we have to watch this movie, write our notes, and come back and give our opinion on Cheetah Girls 2, something in Spain. I keep forgetting the name of this bloody film.
I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'm going to have to overdub that.
I don't think you're going to get a copyright strike for that.
I don't know. So, it's Disney.
So it's been 24 hours since we watched Cheetah Girls 2, When in Spain. Is that what it's called?
That is what it's called.
So I have a feeling, based on the deep sigh that you had at the beginning of this video, maybe one of us enjoyed it more than the other.
I don't know.
I think we should start off, assuming people watching this don't know what this film is about. Why don't you recap the story for them, Callum?
Okay, so the Cheetah Girls, I don't know why they're called the Cheetah Girls. We've got no backstory to this. I haven't seen the first one or the TV series, if there is a TV series. So basically, these 4 girls from New York, one of them is going on a family holiday to Barcelona. So they read a catalogue and then all decide to go because they see a competition. You know, like people got enough money to just travel to that.
Not quite. Not quite. There's a little bit of magic involved. There's a shooting star. One of the girls tells the others, "I'm going to Spain. I can't believe I'm going to Spain. What are us, the Cheetah Girls, going to do? We're on a roll." Because the film opens with them doing a musical number, which goes on for way too long. And so there's a shooting star, and they say, "Let's make a wish." And they all say, "Barcelona, Barcelona." And then through some form of magic, a catalogue that's on their bed, like you say, the wind or the magic just flicks it through to this advert for a singing competition in Barcelona. They're like, "Oh, we should go to Barcelona."
You know these amateur singing competitions that can afford ad space in New York magazines, just in case they accidentally pick up on somebody that's going to Barcelona already.
And then the girls call up this competition. And the woman on the end of the phone is like, "I'm sorry, you can't enter it. The competition closed last week." And then they decide to harmonise.
Roll the credits.
Then they decide to harmonise a song, which is quite nice. For about 5 seconds, they harmonise this song, and then they're like, "Hello, are you still there?" And the woman's like, "Oh my god, you've got a meeting with the director of the competition. Fly yourselves over in 3 days." So, fast forward through the film, they arrive in Barcelona, and what I love about this film is that, unlike most musicals, when there's a musical number, everyone in the background is involved in this musical number because it's whimsical and it's magical. In this film, when they're singing, the actors in the background, who probably aren't even actors, they're just Barcelona residents, they're all looking this.
No, I literally had this in my notes. The extras in that first courtyard scene where they meet that boy, they are honestly like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So I mean, just look at them the whole time. Like normally in these kind of films, they either join in or they're
clapping along or they're doing something.
But they're just like, come on, guys.
What's happening? Why are they singing in English? What are these 4 girls doing? Why is there a camera here?
When they do the montage, like, bear in mind this film was shot fully in Barcelona, including the New York scenes, according to their like Wikipedia thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, literally everything. Like, even the soundstage stuff was all done in Barcelona. When they do a montage of Barcelona, they don't bother to get the clips. They just take stock footage like Sagrada de Familia and just put photos on. It's like, you're literally in Barcelona.
Do you mean the postcard
yes,
montage?
Yes,
okay.
They're literally in Barcelona. They could literally get the shots.
I put on here, the postcard montage is some high school level Microsoft Paint work. It is so bad. But again, yeah, if they're in Barcelona, just get a couple of shots. The next note that I'm glad we both picked up on the postcard montage and also the singing in public, which clearly wasn't a set piece. It was just them filming on the streets of Barcelona.
Okay, so we got to the courtyard bit where they meet this boy. This boy with the guitar just randomly creeps, literally. So later on in the film, in the nightclub that we'll come to shortly, he's in it for a split second, just sat there at the bar with his guitar, just looking for like a little like callback later on. He just creeps, like comes up on balconies and goes, "Hello."
My name is Angel.
He just literally just goes on balconies and just looks over in the most creepiest of ways.
And they even make a reference to this at the end, in the end number. Amigas Cheetahs, which is a banger, by the way. She kind of like talks at the opening of the, the closing number. She said, "I'd like to thank Barcelona for there always being an angel around every corner," which is true because he's literally just always lurking. He's always just stalking them.
Even in the background of the main number, he's literally just sat there, just like in the background, like not even on the stage, on the steps behind the stage. It's insane.
But there is a scene in this film where they go to what can only be described as an underground club for undiscovered teen pop stars, which is a crazy concept, first of all.
Like all these poor music promoters are trying to fill these clubs, like maybe like 10, 15 people. But this unknown thing, they can get a sold out gig in Barcelona. And
then the next day, Raven's character, and we'll come back to her in a little bit because I do think she's actually good in this film. Okay. I'll come back to her in a minute, but her character is the one that really wants to rehearse for this competition that they're entering, which is what the film closes on. And I just realised you don't know if they win or not in the end, right?
I have this in my notes as well. It literally, I was so shocked that the credits started rolling. I was expecting that scene where they go, "Oh, and the winners are." It's like, they just sang a song.
They just sang a song.
Let's roll the credits. It was kind of like they ran out of money to do that final scene, and we're just like, you know what? Let's just roll the credits. It'll be fine.
So the morning after they do this underground, dingy, undiscovered pop star thing. One of the girls says, "Can we please have a rest from rehearsing? That party last night was so wild and I can't bounce back from that like I did when I was 12.
That also sounds like they're taking substances that they should not be taking as Disney actors.
There's so much I want to talk about with this film.
Then what happens? There's also so many subplots to this film. Well, there does not need to be so many subplots. Each character has like quite a long like subplot. Like, it's... There's so
I
many
know
different things and they never really come together.
when we did the randomizer yesterday, you asked why is this film so long? It's because there's 120 different stories in this film. I never thought I'd say this about a Disney Channel original, but there's too much going on. Okay, so I'm going to list off a couple of directors. Okay, Akira Kurosawa, Steven Spielberg, Ridley Scott. Okay, these three filmmakers have something in common with the director of this film. I'm just trying to find his name. Kenny Ortega, right, was his name. Do you know what they all have in common?
No.
They all made and released two bangers of films in the same year. So Spielberg released two films in 1 year, and so on. So Kenny Ortega directed this and High School Musical in the same year.
I did see that. It's not even on the same level. Like, I can't remember seeing High School Musical in full. But people don't talk about... Let's just say there's no Cheetah Girls 2, the musical, the series on Disney+.
Yet.
Yet.
Yes.
That could be series 2, where they reenact the Cheetah Girls 2 when in Spain.
I'm not just gonna bash the film. First of all, I think the film is a time capsule for 2006. I think just with the aesthetics and the sound stages and
the costumes
and the dance sequences, I do think, and oh my god, the costumes! Like it is very. It does. I feel like I'm being transported back to 2006. Another good thing I will say about this film is that I do think Raven, sometimes just the way that she says things, even if the script doesn't necessarily, it's not worthy of a laugh. I think the way that she delivers something, it can be quite funny. And
she's
with the emotional
the backbone
bits
of the film.
Oh, 100%. And sometimes that is to the detriment of the film, though, because she is out acting the parents in every scene in this movie. Every time she's on screen with an adult, you're like, oh, okay, so she's the one that can act here. All right.
There's a dance sequence with loads of mirrors where they just don't understand the 180-degree rule. I got so dizzy by watching it. The camera was in front of them, behind them, to the side of them, to the other side of them. I felt so dizzy after watching it.
Yeah.
It was really confusing.
So this is what I find confusing about the film. Like you said, they don't understand the 180-degree rule, and it's just all over the place, and it makes you feel a little bit sick. There's one when they go to the underground club for undiscovered pop teens. It's like it's meant to be like quite a quiet song when the guy who's just always lurking in the corner is playing his guitar, then the girl starts singing a Spanish song. Because the camera is static, so it's on a tripod, and you've got the actor who's in the foreground. When the background actors are in the background and they're swaying back and forth like this, it felt like a horror film.
It was like being seasick.
That's what I put down. It felt like I was seasick. So one of the tensions in the film comes as the Count turns up for a dance lesson and he's dressed in a suit and they're about to go on a date. And the girl is like, why are you wearing a suit? Why didn't you tell me to dress up? I can't believe you've done this. We're two separate people. And then they part ways. Apparently that's it. Because he wore a suit, they weren't on the same level. And then the message of this storyline is it turns out he's actually bankrupt and broke. It doesn't matter that he's a Count. He's got no money. And because he's poor, she's like, oh, okay. You're broke, so I'm better than you. We can work. I don't know what message that sends.
It's a very American message, isn't it?
A very American message of it's fine to punch down, and she was punching down hard.
Okay, so also, for 1 minute, can we just talk about the person that runs the music competition and how much he looks like Bong Joon-ho in the way he looks and the way he dresses? He wears all black, and he looks near enough exactly like him. Literally.
He does look like Bong quite a lot, doesn't he? Like he.
As soon as he popped up, I was like, so this is how you got your money to make your films.
You know, the most beautiful thing about this, though, when you look at that hair, I'm 99% sure that's actually his real hair. That's not a wig, and that's impressive. But you're right. When he turned up, I was like, what? Wow, what did you have to do to make the money for Parasite? But yeah, maybe we'll put on a side by side because that is that's a scary resemblance.
Oh, and also back to the infamous club scene Why has the owner got the worst British accent that I've ever heard in my life? He's proper like Cockney. He's like, "Oh my god!" It's proper like
I
really.
thought he was meant to be Australian.
Oh, I couldn't tell whether it was bad British or.
But that accent annoyed me so much, especially because he keeps calling these teen girls love and darling. Or maybe he was meant to be British then.
I don't
But
know.
I just, I don't know, what's he doing? Anyway, I got a feeling with, well, we're talking about accents, actually. Again, and we're talking about this underground club scene. Every single song that's in Spanish has the worst lip syncing to the point where I feel like these American actors don't actually speak Spanish.
What?
Call me crazy. I don't think they speak Spanish. Let's jump forward a little bit in the film. So they're at the they're in the underground club with this British Australian owner who calls everyone darling, pays everyone £100, or €100, and that's actually been set up by the girl who can sing, and I actually felt sorry for her at the end of this film because she was a good singer and a good talent, but she got fucked over by her mum.
But she didn't really though, because she featured on their track at the end anyway. So there was no consequence for her mum just being a complete idiot. It's like, oh, okay.
And then we jump forward to they're about to do the live performance at the end. I don't know why the girl whose mum really wants to get married is falling out with her potential stepdad. I don't know what that storyline was about. But then we have the least romantic proposal in cinematic history. The Spanish guy goes running over to the woman, and bearing in mind, she's just sat in the garden of his house. He could walk over there, but he goes running over there, sweaty and everything. He's like, I want to ask you something. He goes down on one knee and says, will you marry me? She says, yes. And then that's it. That's the payoff for this storyline, which takes up way too much film time in this movie.
And also, okay, so another bit of nepotism here as well is is the guy with the guitar. He turns out to be the host of the competition's son, right?
Yeah.
But he also features on all the posters. So basically, the competition owner basically just promoted his son on all these absolutely massive banners around Barcelona. but also, he's very stringent that if you got paid to be in a show, then you can't get in it. It's like, come on.
So
there's so many question marks about these competition rules.
There are so many question marks about these competition rules. But we do have to remember that there's like our initial thoughts on the film. We do have to remember this film did take place in 2006. It was filmed in 2006. It was a Disney Channel original. And I think I've seen bad movies that are worse than this, which makes them more enjoyable. In terms of a film being made, I don't think it's particularly competently made. I do think there are a couple of good dance sequences and Raven's good. So I think the thing that goes against this film is that it's too good to be a bad movie that's so bad that it's good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and also, okay, one more thing was not even related to that. Is so when Raven goes off and like, oh well, if you guys don't like, we can't be the Cheetah Girls like everybody. Turns out in the first film, she's not even in it, which makes that like a whole plot point even funnier because she's.
Was she not?
No, she just leaves after this one. So clearly,
I was gonna say, she's not in the third one either.
Exactly. So like. You clearly weren't that integral to the group, and the group can go on without you when Disney wants it to.
Wow. So, how would you rate your experience in watching this? I would say I had an okay time. Like, I could easily live with never watching this movie again, clearly, but it wasn't made for me, and it wasn't made for our generation either. It was very much of its time. I would say that if you're bored during this quarantine and you had a substance to the side of you, whether it be a whiskey or something else, I think there's enough in here that you could laugh at it to make it enjoyable. That's
Yeah,
what I would say.
I'm kind of the same. Like, I find it quite bland at points because it wasn't so bad that it was good. Like, I feel like High School Musical has really, really cheesy moments, which is why that kind of works still. I don't
Yeah.
think this really has that, but it wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen.
No, it wasn't. It was. I mean, it was a Disney film from 2006 that was straight to the Disney Channel. So I guess we kind of got what we expected. But I did laugh. Like I did laugh at a few things. Maybe 4 of the 5 laughs were because I was laughing at it, such as the actor's hair, Bong's hair. But I think if you're watching this and you are of the younger age, I do think if you like things like High School Musical, then I think you will like this. Um, I think if you're our age, don't watch this unless it's for content.
So should we go back to our computer and put it into the quarantine catalog?
We will put it into the Quarantine Catalogue. So this is basically our catalogue, and obviously the name of the show is the Quarantine Catalogue, where we list all the films that we've watched thanks to the random film generator. This is the first entry into the catalogue, and therefore, if we're ranking these, it takes the number 1 spot. So well done to Cheetah Girls 2 when in Spain.
So that's it for this week. I hope you, well, maybe this episode, we don't know how many of these we're going to do.
If they keep churning out films like this, it may be a very short-lived series.
So yeah, let us know in the comments if you know what bunker this is.
Yes, let us know if you've watched this film and what you thought of it. I guarantee no one would have done that. And until next time, I'm Brad.
I'm Callum.
This has been the Angry Microwave, the Quarantine Catalogue. And until next time,
Bye.
see you later.